Hey everyone. So we read words all day, every day, right? But have you ever really stopped to think about what's going on inside those words? There's this incredible kind of invisible architecture holding them all together. Today, we're going to crack that code. You see the letters on the page, you hear the sounds when you speak. But what about those hidden parts? The tiny little engines of meaning that are tucked away inside every single word. That's the real mystery we're diving into today. Because really, that's what language is. It's a code. And by the end of this, I promise, you're going to see it everywhere. You're going to be a language code breaker. So, you ready? Let's do this. Okay, so every good code breaker needs a starting point. For us, that's looking at the sounds we make and the symbols we use to write them down. And those symbols, they have a name: graphemes. Now, this is super important. A grapheme is not just a letter. It's the written symbol, or even a group of symbols, that stands for one single sound. Think of it like a recipe. The grapheme is the written instruction for a noise you make with your mouth. And this is where it gets kind of cool. Sometimes that recipe is simple, just one letter, like the C in cat. But sometimes letters team up, two letters making one sound, like sh in shop. That's a digraph. Or even three letters, like TCH in catch. That's a trigraph. They can even be split apart, like the A and E in cake, making that single A sound. But no matter what, it's always just one sound. Now, if the code were that simple, well, we'd be done by now. But English, it loves to keep things interesting. The code has a major twist. You can write the very same sound using totally different graphemes. This is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Just listen to the sound in these words: fish, phone, tough. See? Your mouth is making the exact same th sound every time. But look at the page. The code uses three completely different symbols, F, PH, and GH, to write it. And really, it's a two-way street of complexity. On one side, you have one sound like E that can be written in a whole bunch of ways. But on the other side, you can have one group of letters, like the infamous OUGH, that can make a ton of different sounds. This is exactly what makes our language so rich, and what makes spelling, let's just say it builds character. All right, so we've got a handle on the sound layer, but now we're going deeper. We're moving to an even more powerful layer of the code. This one has nothing to do with sound. It's all about meaning, and we're talking about morphemes. So if graphemes are the letters in our recipe, morphemes are the actual ingredients. They are the absolute smallest chunk of a word that has a meaning of its own. You can't break them down any more than that, or they just become nonsense sounds. They're literally the Lego bricks of our language. And just look how they work. It's so elegant. You take a core idea, a morpheme like happy, you snap on the morpheme un, and boom, you've completely flipped the meaning. You take play and add to talk about the person who plays. These aren't just letters, these are tiny, powerful packages of meaning. Okay, so to really get how these meaning bricks work, we have to know that they're not all the same. They basically come in two big families, and each one has a totally different job. First up, you've got your free morphemes. These guys are the independent ones. They're whole words all by themselves, like dog, play, or run. Then you have the bound morphemes. Think of these as the attachments, all your prefixes and suffixes. They're packed with meaning, for sure, but they're a little needy. They can't stand alone. A little piece like un or ed has to be attached to a free morpheme to make any sense. Okay, so we've got sound units, graphemes, and we've got meaning units, morphemes. Now it's time for the big aha moment. Let's pull back the curtain and see how these two different layers work inside one single everyday word. So let's just lock this in. Graphemes equal sound. Morphemes equal meaning. Two different jobs. Let's see them in action. Check out the word dogs. Simple, right? But let's look at the meaning layer first. Here, we can see two morphemes. First, there's the free morpheme, dog, the furry animal. Then there's that bound morpheme s, which means more than one. So 2 units of meaning. Now let's switch our view to the sound layer. Here, we see 4 graphemes. D, O, G, S. 4 separate sounds. Isn't that cool? One word, but it has 2 layers of code inside it. 2 morphemes, 4 graphemes. So, why are we doing all this? Why become a code breaker? Well, because once you understand this dual layer system, it honestly feels like you've unlocked a superpower for reading and writing. Seriously, when you start seeing the morphemes inside words, your spelling gets better because you see the patterns. Your vocabulary just explodes because you can start making really good guesses about what new words mean. And your understanding of what you're reading goes way deeper because you're not just sounding out letters anymore, you're reading meaning itself. All of a sudden, those huge, intimidating words, they just become simple math problems. You see a word like biology, and your brain goes, oh, bio means life, and logy means the study of life, easy. You see antisocial, and you know anti just means against being social. The code turns complex words into simple puzzles. And here is a super simple strategy you can start using like right now. The next time you see a word you don't know, don't just skip it. First, find the root word. That's your free morpheme. Then look for any parts attached to the beginning, the prefixes. Then the end, the suffixes. Put all their meanings together and poof, you've just figured out what the word means all on your own. And this isn't just some neat party trick for adults. When we teach this to kids, it's a total game changer. They stop trying to memorize thousands of random words and start to see the system, the beautiful logic that was hiding there the whole time. They actually become code breakers.
So let's wrap this all up. At the most basic level, it starts with this. Letters give us sound.
Then, graphemes take those sounds and give them structure, a written form, a code we can all share. But it's the morphemes that bring it all to life. Morphemes, they give us meaning. That's the heart of it all. From this moment on, I hope you never see words as just a flat string of letters again. You'll see the parts, the sound units, and the meaning units all clicking together like clockwork. So my question for you is, now that you see the code, what are you going to read differently?